What's up guys, JV2017 here, and I am bringing you a new Fallout 4 tips and tricks video. This time I thought it would be nice to make a more beginners friendly video on hacking. And just a quick reminder guys, this is your #1 hub for Fallout 4 content here on YouTube, so make sure to subscribe if you haven't already, and stay tuned on my channel for daily Fallout 4 tips and tricks videos. Today I'm going to show you how hacking works in this game. Now you may be wondering, JV, why are you making this video? I've been hacking terminals in Fallout for years. I know what I'm doing. I've been seeing a few comments on my videos and requests for me to explain how to hack terminals. People seem to be confused or just want to learn more. So this video is mainly for beginners or people that haven't bothered with hacking in the past, maybe just looked at it and said, I'm just not dealing with that, and maybe want to learn more. I think the best way to teach you guys how to hack and show you how to hack is to actually do it with you, live recording, and that's what I'm doing right now. So really, the purpose of hacking is to find the correct password in order to unlock the terminal for whatever purpose. And really what you're doing is sifting through all of this garbage to find these keywords that'll be highlighted when you go over them. So, we've got largest, library, phishing, hissing, vassals, and parents, I believe. Yeah. So we have 6 different options for the correct password, and we have to guess this correct password in a certain amount of attempts. You can see on the top of the screen, I've got 4. That's standard across all terminals. So you'll have 4 attempts to guess the correct word. And really my method for, getting into terminals, hacking terminals, is to just guess the first one. I don't think there's any other way to do this, but essentially what I do is just pick the first word I see to guess and see if that is the correct password. So what happened here is I chose largest. That took one of my attempts. As you can see, I only have 3 left. And in the bottom right, it returned entry denied. So that's not the correct password. It also gave me a likeness number. And I think this is something that a lot of people are confused about that have never done this before. So essentially, I'm going to try to explain likeness as clearly as possible. It's kind of hard to explain, but really what you're dealing with here is likeness is the number of characters that are in the correct position, the same position as the password. So what you're really doing here is guessing different words that are on the screen here, and then you're using the likeness number to find the correct password. So for example, largest did not help us at all. It says likeness equals 0. That means that none of the letters in their position match the correct password. So that means that our password is not going to start with an L at all. There's no chance for that happening. Our password also doesn't have an A in the second position of that word. So let's go and find another word that will not return the correct password. So we know for sure that parents is not the correct password because it does share two of the same letters in the same position. So we're comparing largest and parents right here in the bottom right. You can tell that A is in the second position in this word in both words. That means that if parents was the correct answer, that the likeness would have returned 2 because A is the second character in both words, and also R is the second character in both words. I hope that's, abundantly clear for you guys. So that's really how this works. So again, library is not going to be correct because L is in the same position in both words. Phishing would actually be a smart guess because there are no, positions, no letters, no characters in the same position in that word. Same with hissing. There's no, characters in the same position there. Vassals would not be a very good guess. So just by looking at the likeness rating for one guess, I can determine that the answer is either hissing or phishing. And if I choose the wrong one, these, these words are so similar that it will probably give me enough of a likeness rating that I can determine, yeah, it's probably the other one. Actually, I will know for a fact if I choose the wrong one, the next guess will be the correct one. I'm sorry if I'm confusing you there. So essentially, that's what you're doing, for hacking. That's how hacking works. Before I actually unlock this terminal, I wanted to use it for an example to show you guys exactly how duds and resets work. And this is something I actually didn't know before Fallout 4, so that kind of embarrassed me a little bit. But once I found it out, it's a very helpful system. So what you're doing here is you're searching for groups of characters that start with a parentheses, a bracket, any kind of bracket, it could be squiggly or a normal bracket, or that starts with the greater than or less than sign. So really, a really quick and dirty method to use for this is to just go and kind of just scan across every single line of this random garbage to try to find something that highlights up. And again, this is kind of hard for me to put into words. It's easier for me to just show you. So I'm looking for groups of these random characters, and I just found one. So as you can see, my cursor is kind of near the bottom left of the screen. I'm just going along here scanning, and then I came across this right here. This is a group where there's an open parentheses and then a closed parentheses with just random junk in the middle. If I click this after highlighting it, it will do one of two things. It will remove a dud, which means it's just removing a potential word that has no chance of being the correct password, or it could reset my tries. So this is a very helpful method, especially on more difficult terminals. You can actually go through, search for these duds and resets on your attempts, and that'll make it a lot easier to solve some of the more difficult terminals. I'm on an advanced terminal, so this is not the easiest terminal. It's not too difficult to figure it out. But here, I just found another one. I just highlighted, went through, combed through, you guys saw me, and I found a less than sign. I don't know what the official word is for that character. And then it's closed by a greater than sign. So if I highlight this entire thing and activate it, boom, I just removed another dud, and we only have 1, 2, 3, 4 potential words. That makes it so much easier, to actually hack this terminal. Again, I just found another one, open parentheses, close parentheses. I click that. That removed yet another dud. And as you can tell, you can kind of stack the odds in your favor by doing this, by removing, I think you can remove almost all of the duds. I see another group here that I can remove. That removed another dud. And as you can tell, there's not a single other word except for hissing. So kind of going back to what I showed you guys before, if I were to choose fishing and, that would have returned a likeness rating, that was not the correct password. The only one left is hissing. So if I, click hissing, there. That was the correct password. I know that absolutely for a fact. I went ahead and reloaded the save before doing this terminal because I just want to show you guys another example of what hacking looks like, and I'm not going to go as slow this time. So for example, I just picked nuclear just for an example. It returned a 0 likeness. I kind of like when terminals return a 0 likeness because I can more easily, compare to other options. So for example, greeted is a very good, option to pick to see if it's, the correct password, because it doesn't match nuclear at all, which means it has a chance of being correct. So this scenario happens to be that both nuclear and greeted returned a likeness of 0. None of the characters in both of these words are in the correct position. So this is actually really helpful. So now I'm comparing the word related to both nuclear and greeted. So in the first, and you can kind of line these up. If you ignore entry denied and then both the likeness ratings on both of those, you can kind of line these up and see if any of the words match in any of the positions in this word. So I can tell very clearly that the end of greeted and the end of related are the same. So there's no chance of that being the correct password. Cleaver, I can tell that the E in greeted, the last E, and then the last E in cleaver are in the same position. Those have 0 chance of being the correct password. Talking, let's see if talking is correct. And I believe talking is a good option because it doesn't match any of those, and it was the correct password. So really this is a lot of feel, there's a lot of just doing it over and over, and you'll be able to effectively hack pretty easily once you know what you're doing. And once you can hack in, you can do a lot of things. There are a lot of advantages to hacking, like disabling turrets, spotlights, unlocking safes, unlocking doors, gaining certain information that you wouldn't be able to get otherwise. Those are all the purposes of hacking. And very briefly, I wanted to touch on difficulty. Essentially, as the difficulty in terminal rises, from novice to expert, or advanced to expert, and then master, the passwords will become longer, which obviously increases the difficulty. You have to worry about, more letters in different position and higher likeness. So obviously there's a hacker perk in the intelligence category that will allow the player to hack more difficult terminals, but you can also just bring Nick Valentine along and he can hack any terminal in the game. So you can use Nick if you don't want to worry about hacking at all. Even after watching this video, you're like, I don't really want to worry about hacking. Or if you want to save the points that you would have spent in Hacker, Nick is a very fine option. You don't even have to worry about hacking if you bring Nick along. It's just really your choice. I'd like to know, do you guys hack in this game? Do you find it easy or hard? I think it's something, again, that you just need to put a lot of repetition into, and once you've done it a billion times, you get the hang of it. It is just like doing it in your sleep. It's just automatic, and it's very simple. So let me know what you guys think about hacking in the comment section below. Alright guys, today I shared my ultimate hacking guide in Fallout 4, and next time we will cover more Fallout on my channel, so stay tuned for daily Fallout 4 tips and tricks videos, and remember that this is your #1 hub for all Fallout 4 content on YouTube. If you learned something new, remember to hit that like button. I'd really appreciate it. And don't forget to subscribe for continued unique weapon guides, some more creative build guides coming in the very near future. Hope you guys are excited, and I will talk to you next time. Peace!